You know, there are times when the wind of change blows so strongly, it seems almost impossible to stand still, right? And yet, deep inside, you've probably noticed how the seasons always shift, how the leaves fall from the trees to give way to something new, something richer, something more vibrant. And just like that, change, though it can feel unsettling, carries with it the potential for growth, for renewal, for something better than you could have imagined, if only you can see it. And maybe, just maybe, you've caught a glimpse of that potential, haven't you? Felt it, perhaps, in those quiet moments when you realized what felt like a storm was in fact a cleansing wind. A wind that could guide you to new horizons, if only you allow it to sweep you along. In fact, you might already know, somewhere deep down, that embracing change is like stepping into the flow of life itself. The river always moves forward, doesn't it? It doesn't resist its current, its flow. It adapts, it learns, it evolves. And all it takes is a simple shift in perspective. A shift that, once made, feels so natural, so effortless, as if you've always known how to do it. Now, as you begin to open to the possibility of change, you might start to notice how your beliefs and your thoughts shift. You start to sense that change, it isn't the enemy, it's a friend. One who's been knocking at your door for so long, waiting patiently for you to let it in. And you realize suddenly there's a kind of magic in embracing the unknown, a freedom that can only come from releasing the need for certainty. You might even wonder, what would it feel like to allow yourself to truly let go, to trust in the flow of life, and to be right in the center of it all, where everything is changing, and yet you remain calm, steady, and confident. You see, the most interesting thing about change is, it doesn't always announce itself in dramatic ways. Sometimes it's just a small, gentle nudge, like the first drop of rain that signals the storm is coming. And just as a drop of rain gives life to the dry earth, you can begin to see how the moments of change nourish your soil. Every time you let go of what no longer serves you, it creates space for something new to emerge. So almost as if the universe is offering you a gift, and the only thing you need to do is to accept it. And perhaps when you think about it, you realize embracing change doesn't mean giving up your comfort zone. It means expanding it, stretching it beyond its own limits. And doesn't it feel good to imagine that? To think about how the boundaries of your comfort zone are growing, becoming more flexible, more open, and more welcoming of the unknown. In this way, change becomes not something to fear, but something to eagerly anticipate, because you know deep down that in embracing it, you're stepping into a greater version of yourself. You're shedding old skin and growing. Just like the caterpillar transforms into the butterfly. Each step in that process both challenges and empowers. Now I'd like you to consider something. What if every challenge, every difficulty that you face, it's simply an invitation to become more of who you truly are? What if each time you feel uncertain or fearful, that's simply the signal that you're on the verge of something remarkable, something that will stretch your capabilities and give you the chance to become stronger, more resourceful, more resilient than ever before. And perhaps you can begin to hear that quiet voice inside of you, the voice that's always been there, guiding you towards your growth. It may sound something like this: it's okay to change, it's okay to grow, I trust myself, I trust my ability to handle whatever comes my way, I trust that I'm capable of embracing the unknown and finding wisdom in it. I'm ready to welcome what's next. Now imagine how it feels to look back at the moments in your life where you resisted change. Perhaps they seemed like walls too high to climb. But what if those walls were actually doors in disguise? And once you began to open them, they revealed the most beautiful landscapes, places you couldn't even have dreamed of before. In this way, every step you've taken, every decision that you've made, has been leading you to this moment. This moment where you can finally say, I'm ready. I'm ready to move forward, to embrace the unknown, to learn, to grow, to change. You might notice then how easy it becomes to take the first step, and then the next, and the next. Each step is easier than the last, because now you see it. Change isn't something to fear. Change is your partner, it's your ally. And as you continue moving forward with each new moment of challenge, you'll find yourself growing stronger, more confident, more alive, more engaged with the beautiful unfolding of life. In fact, you might even find that as you embrace change, the old fears, they begin to melt away. You realize you're not alone in the storm. You are the storm. And in the center of the storm is peace, balance, and strength. You can be calm in the chaos. You can be the eye of the hurricane, where everything swirls around you. And yet you stand firm, anchored in trust, anchored in faith. Faith that the storm will pass. Faith that is bringing you exactly what you need to move forward. And the more you allow yourself to trust that, the more you'll crave change, because you begin to see it for what it really is. A doorway to something greater. And soon, without even thinking, you'll start seeking out those challenges, eagerly inviting them into your life, knowing that every challenge is a step towards your growth, your evolution, your next level of being. So take a moment now to just breathe deeply, letting this new way of seeing things settle in. Feel how good it feels to trust, to let go, to allow change to be a part of you, to welcome it, even to crave it. Feel how natural it is to release any old patterns, any old fears, knowing that you're fully capable of handling whatever comes your way. Because after all, as you continue to grow and change, you'll discover the only constant in life is change itself. And the more you embrace it, the more you'll find that you, too, are always becoming. And with each passing moment, you can step into this new, ever-evolving you. One who moves with the flow of life. One who learns from every mistake. And who finds beauty in every challenge. After all, it's only in change that we truly become who we're meant to be. And you've probably noticed that, even in the most calm and serene moments, there's still an undercurrent, a subtle, yet undeniable rhythm of change happening all around you, all the time. It's as though everything in nature is in a constant state of becoming, evolving, shifting. And isn't it fascinating how that same rhythm is inside you too? You don't even have to try to change, because change is happening, whether you're aware of it or not. It's like the air you breathe, always flowing, always moving, always giving you life, without needing you to think about it. And in the same way, your growth, your transformation, it's an ongoing process. You don't need to force it. You don't need to worry. It's happening naturally, and you're being carried along with it. Have you ever noticed how, when you simply stop resisting, things often unfold with much more ease? You might even remember times when you've let go of control and everything just seemed to fall into place. It's almost as though, in releasing the need to hold everything together, the universe itself stepped in, providing the exact opportunities that you needed. That's the beauty of change. It always knows exactly what you need, even before you do. And when you trust it, the process feels effortless, even exciting. But sometimes there's a little voice inside that says, but what if I'm not ready? What if this change is too much for me? And perhaps you've heard that voice before, trying to protect you, trying to keep you safe. But here's the truth. The voice doesn't know the whole story. It's simply a habit, a pattern that's been there for a long time, trying to keep you in what feels familiar. It's understandable, of course. We all want safety. But safety, as you may begin to realize, isn't the same thing as growth. You see, growth doesn't come from staying in the same place. It comes from stepping out, from moving through the unknown. It's like a seed that must break open to sprout. If it never breaks open, it'll never grow. And that's exactly what you're doing right now. You're breaking open, allowing new possibilities, new perspectives to emerge. And with each tiny shift, each gentle moment of release, you're becoming more of the person you're meant to be. You might even begin to notice how, in the midst of all this change, something remarkable happens. You start to feel more connected to yourself. It's almost as if, with every new challenge, you discover a deeper part of you, one that's strong, resourceful, and wise. This deeper part of you, it knows that everything you need to succeed is already within you. You don't have to search for it. You don't have to force it. All you need to do is trust. Trust that the change you're experiencing is leading you to where you need to be, even if you can't yet see it clearly. And as you do, you'll begin to notice something even more profound. The more you embrace change, the more you want it. It's like a new hunger for growth, an appetite that you didn't even know you had, but now it's beginning to awaken. And maybe you're already feeling it now, in your body, in your thoughts, in your emotions. An eagerness, a sense of curiosity about what's next. You might start to crave the unknown, because you realize every challenge is just an opportunity for you to learn something new about yourself. It's a process, like sculpting a statue from a block of marble. With every strike, with every shift, you become more defined, more shaped, more aligned with your true potential. Isn't it exciting to think that change doesn't need to be something to fear? It can be something to celebrate. And when you begin to see it that way, change becomes like a gift, wrapped in the most beautiful paper, just waiting to be unwrapped. You don't have to know exactly what's inside the gift before you open it. In fact, part of the magic is the mystery of what's to come. The surprise is part of the fun. And when you embrace this new, open-hearted approach to change, you start to discover the world. It's filled with endless possibilities, and all of them are waiting for you just beyond the next moment. You might even feel how this new perspective begins to shift the way you see challenges. Instead of obstacles, they become stepping stones, each one a chance to refine your skills, sharpen your clarity, and grow your resilience. In this way, every challenge becomes not something to avoid, but something to embrace with open arms. Because you know deep down that each one is making you stronger, wiser, and more capable. Now let's take a moment to consider something deeply important. Every change, every new step forward, is a part of a greater process. And it's a process that you've been navigating your whole life. In fact, you've probably already been through many transformations without even realizing how powerful they are. Every time you overcame fear, every time you trusted yourself just a little bit more, you're transforming. Each of those small shifts, those tiny moments of courage, they've been leading you to this very moment. The moment when you're ready to not only embrace change, but to actively seek it, to desire it, and to crave it. And as you begin to do that, you might notice things start to shift, almost without effort. You might find yourself thinking differently about the future. No longer do you see it as a place of uncertainty. Instead, you begin to view it as a playground, full of opportunities to grow, to learn, and to evolve. With each passing day, you grow more excited, more open, more willing to step into the unknown. Because you now see the unknown holds treasures that you've been waiting for. In fact, you might even begin to realize something extraordinary. The more you embrace change, the more you begin to experience a deeper sense of peace within yourself. It's as though you're no longer fighting against the current of life, but instead, you're learning to flow with it. And in that flow, you feel strong, you feel centered, you feel free. Because the truth is, change is not something that happens to you. Change is something you become. You're not just a passive observer of change. You're the very creator of it. With every choice you make, you shape your world. With every belief you embrace, you change your future. And as you step forward, you'll find the more you allow yourself to embrace change, the more your mind, your body, and your spirit will align with it. You've probably already begun to notice how it feels, haven't you? It feels like a weight being lifted from your shoulders, like a deep breath, a sigh of relief. And the more you embrace change, the more you feel lighter, freer, more alive. It's as though you've unlocked a door inside yourself, and the freedom on the other side is limitless. So from this moment on, you'll find your thoughts naturally shift. You'll begin to welcome change with open arms, as a trusted companion on your journey. And the more you seek it, the more it will come to you. And the more you welcome it, the more easily it'll flow through your life. You'll begin to notice that in each moment of change, there's always the potential for something new to emerge. A new belief, a new way of thinking, a new action, a new experience. And with each of these, you'll grow stronger, more resilient, and more in tune with your own personal power. The more you open to change, the more you trust it, the more you'll realize there's no destination, only a continuous unfolding of your greatest potential. You're becoming who you're always meant to be, and each moment of change, it's simply an invitation to step deeper into that person. And as you continue on this journey, you might find yourself thinking, I trust myself more than ever before. I'm ready for change. I seek it, and I embrace it. It's my ally, and I welcome it with open arms. Because after all, in the dance of life, you're not only the dancer, you're the music, the rhythm, the beat of transformation itself. And now you can see it, can't you? That everything has been leading you here, and every moment from now on, it's filled with endless possibilities, all waiting for you to embrace.